はいはいはいはい、聞こえておりますでしょうか。コロマロお兄さんです。何や Another fucking bot. アタゴザンの鬼道場のコロマロと申します。How's everybody doing today? This is a surprise stream. It's less of a surprise for me because I was going to play this game anyway. I've been playing it for way too much recently, and I thought I may as well stream. I have a couple of hours to kill. And I wanted to go and do something at least vaguely productive. So, hopefully, my video card doesn't actually commit violent suicide. OBS, are you okay? You're not doing too hot. We're gonna just switch between screens less and hope for the best. Right, it should be nighttime, so what I want to do right now is I want to go and look for some of the unobtainium custom camos. And in order to do that, I'm going to grab my nighttime loadout, please and thank you. And we're going to look for the first location of our camos. Let me look it up real quick. I don't really care for the fucking AK, so we're just gonna go straight for the 590, and let me see what that location even is. Let me get my approximate bearings. So it's about... God, these people suck at providing directions. So it should be somewhere around here. By the bend of the river, I assume. Yeah, it's right over here. It's quite a while, quite a bit of walking required to get there, and there's not really a landing zone that's...
Denied. All available birds are in flight.
Well, that's just fucking rude. At pickup at destination... So we have 30 seconds downtime. But yeah, I've been having tremendous amounts of fun. We're going to do a little bit of tasking, a little bit of scavenging, and then this is not canceling out the stream on Wednesday. Do not fret. But I just want to run around and do spooky shit in the dark. Also, hi there, sort of a demon. I don't believe I've told you. I don't believe I've greeted you with the microphone on, so here you go. I may have to swap out for a different model, actually. If this one is a little bit too memory intensive, which it shouldn't be, but it can be, we're gonna see if we can work that in.
Negative. All birds are currently dispatched.
Oh, get the fuck out! Come on, do I need to hop into a different server or something? It is kind of asinine that we have to deal with fucking traffic jams on the PvE side. I get the purpose of the limitation for PvP. It prevents people from overwhelming, like being constantly able to just spam respawns on people. There we go. But goddamn, it's like trying to catch an Uber from a concert. Alright, are we good on our supplies? We actually are not. I need to get some water. I'm keeping that gray zone energy on me, just in case.
Raven on station and ready
What the fuck? How am I overloaded with a single fucking energy drink can? Hey there, not Linkara. Ricky! Hello Raiders, how are you doing? Welcome. We're going to lag very slightly because I'm on the chopper. I was not expecting this. Hello. Oh god, that's very bright. Oh, that's very bright. No, not my GPU. No. Oh, my eyes. Oh my god, Infrit, thank you for the sub. Welcome, Raiders. My name is Kuromaru Onii-san. I am the de facto director of the Mount Atago Unconventional Warfare Division, also known as the Oni Dojo. Also, some might refer to me as Oni no Oni-san. That is also allowed. Hello, what were you doing? Timed your entry just in time for the Ricky raid? Fantastic. I assume you were tasking? But yeah, thank you for the gift sub, Infrit. We're going to read out the disclaimer on that one. That's an obligatory component of it. So let me get away from playing GZW. Tasking in Banpa tonight. Oh, that's very nice. I might actually go and touch some stuff in Banpa later today. But yes, Ricky, I am very grateful to you and your team for the great work that you've done on this game. This has been a gigantic time sink for me. I've been playing nothing but Gray Zone nonstop. I took time off work this week to play this game. So yeah, let me get you a shout out real quick. As is, if it did. Right. So I did my intro. Hello, everybody. With broken legs too? I am somehow entirely not surprised. That seems to be very much on brand with the Ricky tasking that I have seen. She'll run a shotgun with no ammo and just iron sights. Will have like untreated injuries and still manage to complete a task in a level 3 area. Oh no, I started ads. What is that supposed to mean? I just think that you're very resourceful. That's it. You're just very, very in touch with the meta. Right, but yeah, we have just started. Oh my god, there's another sub. Or is that the same sub? I'm not sure, but that reminds me, I need to read my disclaimer. If you have just subscribed to the Kuromaru Onii-san channel, your penis has grown by an entire 3 inches, and an additional inch for each subsequent tier of subscription. Effects do not last after subscriptions expire. Thank you, Infrit. That was your prime. Thank you for the proom. Thank you. Much appreciated. But yeah, we were going to look for the 590. So we're going to go deep into the forests. Hey there, Seku. Big head mode? No, that's not big head mode. It's like everything else is a slightly smaller mode. This model is less GPU intensive. You cannot afford subs, sadly. That's all right. That's all right, Henix. You don't. Yes, please prioritize food. Please do not subscribe to the Content Monkey if your basic needs are not covered. I will be the first one to tell you. If you need to dodge ads, just a second. Oh my god. we have a hack for that. You can watch on the YouTubes or on the Kicks. That's not how my commands work. There you go. So you can watch on the YouTubes and on the Kicks ad-free, because I am not monetized on those platforms. So no need to sub. The subscriptions are entirely optional. You like that? You're welcome. We do trade in gems in these parts of town, so feel free to stick around. I am completely open to backseating because I am inherently bad at video games. For the last few days, I've enjoyed the company of other Gray Zone aficionados to carry me, but I am on my lonesome right now, so if chat, who we affectionately name members of the Oni Dojo, have any information or advice to impart, I'm more than happy to onboard that. If I'm gonna open up, we're gonna do an open lobby for some people who want to task, if you're okay tasking on the US servers. But yeah, and if you have to raid and run, feel free to do so. As is the case both in real life and in Gray Zone, you need to actually eat and hydrate and stretch and move around. So don't feel obligated to stick around for too long. If you need to raid and run, please feel free to do so. Especially since it is fairly late in most of your time zones, because I know that a fair share of you are somewhere around the Central European time zone. But yeah, I'm currently fiending for some exclusive camouflaged guns, and that's why we're going deep into the forest to claim that sweet M590. just peeked into my throne. You were not aware that I could list 9mm and 12 gauge on throne? So here's the thing, Codename. I'm not sure you can. I still do. Oh, Infrit, thank you for the gift sub to Henix. If you have just subscribed to the Kuromaro Onii-san channel, your penis has grown by an additional 3 inches and an extra inch for each subsequent year of subscription. Effects do not last after subscriptions expire. How do I get there? I think I need to follow the river. Move? You're a sedimentary rock. I see. Respectable. Based immovable object versus the virgin unstoppable force. But yeah, my first most sought after gun this patch is going to be the MCX. I cannot say enough kind words about the buffs that the MCX platform and 300 Blackout as a caliber has received in 0.4. It finally doesn't have the bullet drop of airsoft guns and the damage of harsh language. So I am now primarily running an MCX with the magnifier. Is my model holding the rifle, or is it a dingling? It's so the model is currently being slung on my model. It's a little bit more obvious, and I do have a couple of low-ready stances for the full-scale model. We have to be Goblin mode for today. I'm chibiing it up a little bit because it's kinder on my GPU, because Gray Zone is a very pretty game. And with what strap? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Nobody tell him about the QD sling attached to my belly button. You could use spring bones to make that all floppy? That is true, but the spring bones would... No, actually you could, Digby, because the rifle, which is incidentally also an MCX, it is a Venian prop. It's not actually an item attached to the model itself, so I cannot give it physics like I do for my Flaming Halo. The camo on the sling is just that good, exactly. It's made in the exact color and pattern of my tattoos, that's why you can't see it. It's definitely not attached to a belly button ring with the QD mount. The rifle is being held up by the dong. I will neither confirm nor deny that. I plead the fifth. Oh god. Seko, I'm just gonna make you a Janny on the kick side at some point. Do I have those tattoos IRL? I will also plead the fifth. Generally, let's couch this in the language of the game that we're currently operating in. Generally, you don't want to volunteer readily identifiable information about your person as a standard practice of OPSEC. So, when I'm done being a spicy red little Oni on the internets, I would like to not be readily identifiable around your normal population. If you're a broke boy, just say so? That's new. Why are we suddenly referencing... Oh, who was it? Hey there, Gecko. God, who's the streamer who gifted us that absolute gem? Pokimane. It was Pokimane, who I believe has since stepped away from the cookie company. Although I've recently found out that there's actually a number of legacy traditional Japanese tattoo artists in my area. Cookie dropship machine broke. Damn, the cookie company fucking died. Not entirely surprising with a spokesperson that eloquent. I'll be 100 with that. All right, we need to cross the river. Yoink. As far as you are aware, I will take that. I think that it came to me in a dream. Is a perfectly suitable source in matters like that. Let me quickly make sure that no one's actually ambulating around this area. A remote campsite. Do be remote. Deaded? Oh, I see. Then what was the point of her stepping away from it if it's a dead business anyway? Fragrant perfume bottle for Gunny. He is a known sensitive young man who enjoys his perfumes. Range and rifle. They got camo Mossberg 5.9 available in the stock. Should be a solid. Don't know if you're actually gonna read it. Gunny is just calling me. I'm just catching strays from Gunny for not reading regularly. Why is he doing this to me live on stream? That's just entirely uncalled for, sir. I guess Titan's my closest drop-off point if I just follow the river. Probably no sense in flying all the way back to base. It died when she called her viewers broke, Lamau. Sadly, I can see some people being into that. She stepped away from the corpse of the company. Alright, now we just need to walk all the way back. Preferably not die in the process. I do appreciate that there are now encounters in the deep green. Because usually you could get very complacent just walking through the deep forest. And now you can accidentally walk into a patrol or in a campsite. Findom is a thing and you hate humanity for it? Yeah, valid. Honestly, valid stance. Of all things, cookies. Like, I understand the sort of inherent premise. Yeah, let's use fast-moving consumer goods because there's really not any kind of finite point of saturation. Let me actually quickly retool into a different model. Just a second. I think we need to lighten the GPU load very, very so slightly. Very so slightly. Please bear with me while my Viges is frozen. Models. Where is... that's the lightened one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Boom. There we go. This one should load the GPU slightly less. As we were. Ricky literally failed to jump for a task like 3-4 times for Artisan because she doesn't know tax print existed. I didn't know tax print affected your jump length. Thank you for telling me that. For a JPEG with like 5 different frames of looking different areas, I would need to have it set up. I'm aware of like active PNGs or whatnot. I insist on being 3D. Very specifically, back in the day when I started playing the game, I've made a promise to Ricky. Looks like it'd be worse on the GPU. The switching of the JPEGs? Not really, no. How am I doing? I'm doing very well. I'm still fighting off what's left of my very intense man flu that had me bedridden last week, but I'm bouncing back. Thank you. How are you? TTV Natsu Dragneil. I had to stop myself. There's a drag on these nuts joke somewhere in there, but we don't know each other like that yet. This model versus the other one? No, this one's a lighter model. The other one has more complex vertices, so it's a little bit heavier, because I'm bad at modeling, and I don't know how to optimize well. I've been here for a few weeks, busier than you remember. Listen, busy is good. Busy means that the world needs you to keep breathing. Not so soon? Okay. No, so this is a severely lightened model. For one, the body mesh has less vertices as well. I am self-admittedly a very severe amateur when it comes to using Blender. I only learned it to the extent of rigging up a new body for the model, and then I called it a day. But back when I was just starting, I was just getting into 0.3 before all of the optimization work that Madfinger did. And I believe I shared that with Ricky. I said that, hey, if the game at any point is optimized to where I can stream it with my 3D model, I am going to buy the entire supporter pack. And Mama didn't raise no liar. But yeah, I think it's safe to assume that everyone here likes Gray Zone as a pastime, but in addition to Gray Zone, we also cover training in combatives and general fitness. We cover Japanese history and culture. We talk about guns and we touch guns on occasion, as you can probably guess by the discount code for AS Design. So if you are in the States and if you are in a state that allows you to have forced reset triggers, consider using code Kuramaru at AS Design for 10% off. I get nothing from it, so technically it's not AS Design sponsoring me, it's me sponsoring AS Design. As soon as you kneel, you'd be dragging these nuts across the face? Yeah. Different types of landing zones in these games you're not aware of, or are they just not working for you? What do you mean different types of... No, from what I understand, all LZs are roughly the same. If we're talking about PvE, I don't know how things work on the PvP side. I'm just gonna quickly do my favorite pastime in this game. Good luck looking for me with a lack of fucking report. I am having so much fun with this gun. This is unreasonable. See another searchlight, at least one more. I'm shooting subsonics, so they don't know. This is actually very realistic, because a suppressed MCX shooting subsonic ammo has no detectable signature. The cycling of the actual gun is louder than the gunshot itself. Like, I recently suppressed my own MCX. Do I have the MCX from Midnight Sapphire? I do not. Not yet. Not yet. I've not gone to Midnight Sapphire. I've only just unlocked my northmost landing zones. I think he went down. I really want to, though. I really like... actually, no. My favorite MCX is the one that I need to get Banshee to level 4 for. I prefer the 10 MCX because that's the one I have IRL. I think you started an hour or two ago. Can't get the LZ to come to you. You got 3 rounds left, so you're not missing any. I think the LZs some LZs no longer auto-unlock, depending on where you are. Or they've reduced some of the peripheral LZs. I've also sort of... I've tried feeling around for LZs that I know should be there, and I was not successful at activating them, so I had to do some quests in the area, and only then I got more LZs further up north. Oh, there are 2 LZs you don't have access to because there's for other factions. I see. I did not know that. I thought that the LZ maps are all shared. Oh, hi. Excuse me, sir, that's extremely rude. I also like doing this now. The destructible lights are just... it's just so good. Oh, these are the guys that have my free ammo. I'll drink your orange soda as well. Thank you much. Quickly check the house to make sure there are no stragglers there. Kind of see a big light source there. I don't like that. It's just the lamp. Oh, right. I can't scale stuff. My only gripe so far, it's not a gripe really, it's just, you know, a quality of life complaint, is the orange sodas yummers. And I don't consume a lot of sugar IRL, so I can at least LARP. I say that as I'm on my second Wild Tiger energy drink of the day. You didn't enjoy how I say soders? I actually don't say soders on a regular basis. It's one of those, I don't know if there's a term for deliberately mangling a language. Certainly, Mountain Dew Kickstart fan, understandable. The only sugary drinks I drink with any regularity is probably Mexican full sugar Coke and Wild Tiger energy drinks. That's about it. Yeah, there's probably a term for deliberately mangling a language. You drink American Diet Coke? Listen, not to be preachy, but this is a theme of the channel. I would encourage you to cease. Non-caloric sweeteners are bad for you in a variety of ways, starting from the fact that you're not really correcting behaviors, seeing as you're still sort of giving into the impulse to drink sweet water. But there's also cascading effects. Refillable lighter, plastic container. There are cascading effects. Mexican, again, I'm not familiar with Mexican sodas as a genre. I just very specifically buy the Mexican Coke in glass bottles because glass bottle as opposed to plastic and cane sugar as opposed to high fructose corn syrup. Well, Wild Tiger energy drink's good. You do not enjoy Rockstar, Red Bull, or Monster. If you don't like Red Bull, you're probably not going to like Wild Tiger. Because Wild Tiger is very similar to old Austrian formula Red Bull. It doesn't have any non-nutritive sweeteners. It's cane sugar, and everything else is just the stimulants that are supposed to be in there. Which is why I like it. I would rather just tank the sugar content and know that that goes into my daily calorie balancing. Hello there. The fuck am I doing here? You say that like it's your fucking forest. I assure you that since I am the one who's able to see in the dark, this is in fact my forest. But yeah, Wild Tiger is a pretty niche energy drink. The only place I know that you can get it in the States is off Amazon because it is... I believe it's a Jordanian brand manufactured in Iraq. It's mostly popularized by the early flights of the global war on terror. I like that they're smart enough to turn off their flashlights. I really appreciate that. You think I can't find you in my own fucking country? No, I don't believe you can, because I can see in the dark and you can't. Thems are the breaks, I'm sorry. I guess the game was just rigged from the start, and now I can't find the body to loot it. That's sad. Is that the drink with nicotine in it? No, it doesn't have nicotine. It has all your sort of standard stimulant fare. Taurine... lots of caffeine. Not really a lot of caffeine, realistically. It's like 30... what? Something like 30 to 45 milligrams per can, which is honestly peanuts. Oh, you were a roaming patrol. I see. Where's the other friend I've, Oh. Jesus Christ. And I can't even see Seku's comment now. Despicable. Come on. There we go. Technological supremacy wins again. Well, listen, this is why I play PvE. As opposed to PvP. PvP, I respect the people who are on the grind. That's definitely not me. I play this game very specifically to enjoy suppressing third world flip-flop militias through superior military doctrine and equipment. That is my jam here, and I will continue to have fun. Oh, listen, I'm not gonna make big statements. I'm just gonna say that I'm not here to compete with a near peer force with access to subscription medication. The only place that has I cast funny goggles, yeah. I have the seeing goggles and you do not. In a town you're over Mexican restaurants besides Walmart, but Walmart has them at $1 and the restaurant has the... Well, yeah, because the restaurant is always going to impose a premium. Wish you could play older builds of Hunt so fucking bad. I tried playing Hunt, and Hunt is pretty intense. It's very good gun porn. Very, very high quality. I hope I'm not... Oh, I am walking through the camp. No. We're not doing that. We are definitely, absolutely not doing that. Apparently they have them at $10 for a 12 pack. The Wild Tigers? Yeah, they're reasonably priced. Wait, that sounds more like that's more of a Coca-Cola price range. Because on Amazon, I forget how many are in a pack, but I get a crate for like $40-ish. Oh, Doritos, I see. I don't know what a Dorito is. Is that like a specific Mexican sugar drink? You're playing Hunt Showdown right now? Good for you. Good for you. I played it a while with Dante for quite a bit. And sorry, I'm just I really want a game that's going to gaslight me into irresponsible financial behavior. I play Milsims to gaslight myself into buying a Mark 18. Single's supposed to be 88 cents, but listen. Your local Lowe's sells Doritos. I see. Delicious Mexican soda. Excuse me. I did not mean to at any point doubt the deliciousness of your soda of choice. Out of stock? Well, I guess it's just that delicious. It's also broad daylight. I'm not, wasn't acutely aware of that. So let's maybe steer clear of any excess hostilities. I say as I just randomly dome a guy from across the woods. That was mostly on me, but there was also an inadvertent little frame spike. God, Subsonic 300 Blackout is so much fun now. Nah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Just be the bigger man, walk away, they'll bleed out eventually. American tastes actual sugar becomes obsessed. Not really. The thing is, Digby, most people just don't even know the difference. Most people lack the palate to tell high fructose corn syrup from sugar. And most people prefer the non-nutritive sweeteners because they have fewer calories. And very few people understand the sort of cascade effects of things like sucralose, both on on the effect that it has on your telomeres, on the effects that it has on your satiety. Again, my approach is, if you're going to have a sweet drink, just work that into your calorie math, be responsible with your intake, know how much you need to burn in that day. It's all about self-regulation, and relying on crutches does you no favors. Diet Coke is good, though. Aspartame, I hate to break it to you, but aspartame has a proven causative link to some pretty severe cancers, so I urge you to reconsider. In it's the fan situation, you're reaching for your wife, a 10.5 barrel revolver. Seku, please buy a real gun. Please. Like, I keep posting offers of good, practical, modern guns that cost a fraction of the goddamn antiques that you insist on buying every time. Hunt reinforces your love for cowboy action shooting. That's respectable. You're not saying it's good for you? Well, listen, aspartame also doesn't really taste great. That's the other part. Like, if you're drinking it for the taste, at least drink the full sugar thing. Be responsible, me chugging my third monster of the night shift. Well, you're on a night shift. You are likely as caffeine insensitive as I am. So again, my main gripe would probably just be the sweetener content, if anything else. Let's dump everything I do not need. Let's hand that one over to Gunny. Oh, someone's coming. Quick. He can have the backpack. I don't want it. Oh, wait, that's a 3++ with a dump pouch. Nice. Is it not lighter than... Oh, it's actually significantly lighter than the Phantom, too. Ah, at the expense of storage. I see. I mean... I can just carry fewer grenades, realistically, and move... I can move some things around. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take this over the Phantom. Because, like, weight is a realistic limitation that I'm suffering under. Diet Coke has a different taste? Yes, it does. It actually does. Your aunt told you about these healthy drinks called Alani and Celsius. Both have 200 fucking milligrams of caffeine. You didn't know that when you drank one? I mean, caffeine is not unhealthy for you. It's, you know, it's a stimulant. You shouldn't have too much of it, but it's not, like, inherently bad. Was I carrying my rifle around this entire time? Oh, that's why I was overloaded. I am sorry, I get overwhelmed easily, and I'm not good at paying attention. Anyway, we're gonna keep this. This goes here, this goes here, this goes here. I've not had a lot of success with grenade kills yet. I think I had, like, a total of 3. Don't even need to cowboy load it to carry safely. That's great, but Seku, like, here's the thing. My subcompact concealed carry handgun has 15 rounds of an ammo type that is also more effective than whatever the hell your wheel gun is chambered in, okay? Both for shot placement and expansion and soft tissue. My brother in Christ, please, buy a real gun, then you can play with the funny guns, okay? Should probably get a new med pouch. I have some of those. There we go, it's getting my reserve. He had 2 bang energies, one right after the other. Used to work in a factory. I'm sure you were the employee of the day, at least. Ever tried Bucked Up Energy? It has 300 milligrams. Another one that has that is, what, Echelon? Their pre-workouts have 300 milligrams. I don't know. There's definitely a use for the high-dose caffeine, especially if you're like me. I used to be a tea tester for quite a while. And, yeah, I now enjoy a near total caffeine insensitivity. Not in the sense that I don't react to caffeine, just that my body has gotten so good at metabolizing it as a survival mechanic that I really need a lot of it to give it any kind of longevity, and it needs to be bound by L-theanine. You don't know about the science of it, increased metabolic rate, but I mean the caffeine, that's sort of the purpose of the caffeine, realistically. The caffeine is by function of being a stimulant, it's going to increase your metabolic rate. The downside is that if you consume too much caffeine, or like more caffeine than your system can effectively process, you are just going to have a heart attack. Need to level me gunny. We can do some gunny tasks after this, actually. We've pulled similar shit. You run CNC mills for 12 hours overnight. Yeah, like that is definitely an environment where stimulant abuse becomes necessary. Wait, is that a long slide Colt? No, that's just a regular with a... I'm trying to build out a thing. Like the thing that I'm currently trying to do. Let me find it. There it is. So, I am trying to build out a 1911 long slide. So, I hope that there is a way to mount a red dot on this. Because if there is, this is going to be hilarious, and I will run this as my sidearm, as opposed to the slight upgrade that I have done with Kopte's Glock. All I need to do is replace the Horizon red dot that I despise having to use. This is a Trijicon household, and that will not change. Sitting in your wheelchair after physical therapy, feeling like you were on cocaine after drinking because you didn't know it was 200 milligrams. Oh yeah, I can see that. I can see not having anything to do with all that energy being a detriment. After you started to come down from the caffeine rush, you grabbed the can from the top of the trash, read the label. Why does my aunt buy these by the dozen? Your aunt is actually leading a secret double life, where she just needs that amount of caffeine. I'm sorry you had to find out like this. Oh, I forgot the soldering. Goody. Was Vulture no longer here? As I'm not a lawyer, I have to advise me that I should not recommend people operate industrial equipment after consuming stimulants. I'm not recommending anything. I'm just saying that it's an understandable behavior pattern. I am not your lawyer, nor am I your doctor. I am a funny red Oni on the internet. Everything I say should be parsed through a filter of, are we sure he knows what he's talking about? In most cases, it's going to be yes, but sometimes there's going to be a little surprise. That's to make sure that I keep you on your toes and not just in a place of complacently accepting information from people on the internet. Right. Okay, we're re-kitted. Let's actually go and do something productive. We have gas station. Do I care about my reputation with handjob right now? Not particularly, no. I'd rather go and look for a gunny case, which we do have one on the way to Sawmill. We've done all the Sawmill ones for now, and... oh, there's another one over here. Alright, the 2 gunny quests are probably a go for me right now, so... what's our... it's probably our best point of entry. Alright, I'm just gonna go to my LZ and go to Sawmill. I need to eat something. Eat. Where is my food? I'm too cheap to buy the containers. Until such time that I become exotically wealthy. You know, care the recommendation about the recommendations. You will chug a monster like water till God himself decides that he has enough of your flagrant self-violation of your body. That point may arrive. That attitude will get you to that point very quickly. Factory you worked with a semi-truck plant based in the US, and you were putting in driver seats that weighed up to 120 pounds. You had a crane to pick them up and install them, but said crane was about 15 feet down the assembly line from where they needed to start. That's yeah, that's what the Toyota plant managers or plant designers would refer to as muda. The inefficient use of your equipment. Yeah, try not to do that. It's not very cash money. Oh boy, manufacturing principles. Wasn't that a joy and a half to learn? I don't think I had a certification in Kaizen manufacturing technologies, but I didn't retain the physical certificate because I don't really need it. Because I ended up not really working a lot with manufacturing outside of that one time I had to entertain an aluminum smelting business. With them primarily by hand, and using the little cart that you put in the seats on was considered the hardest job in the plant because physical activity. Kaizen? Yes, it's the other word for it is Toyotism or Taylorism. Well, what was originally Taylorism was then onboarded by Toyota and expanded into Toyotism that then got its more academic term. Oh, that is 6 guys. Surely I can handle 6 guys at once. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just gonna pull back into a more reinforced and defensible position. They had a Kaizen department. Your Kaizen department isn't very good at their jobs if they installed that seat mounting crane that way. I have to call balls and strikes here. Not sure what my holds are, but he's dead, and that's what matters. Whiffed that one entirely. Aluminum smelting is very rough on the body. Your dad worked on that. See, Gecko, given that you are in the US of A, your dad still probably worked in a, at least, you know, reasonably responsible, well-equipped, and largely safety-compliant environment. The aluminum smelting factory that I had the joy of optimizing was built before the Russian Revolution. And it was run by Russian security standards, safety standards. Oh, they eventually got to the seats, and that was after you were gone and disabled? I'm very sorry to hear that. I hope you sue them for every bit of money you can get out of them. Because that's a peak example of deserved workers' comp. Which are none? No. Not related to the job? I find that extremely doubtful. That sounds like that's directly related to the job. I can't see your head, so your other head is getting the bullet. I am very sorry. Remember, kids, no one ever wears level 4 plates on their balls. Just gonna leave them to stew for a little bit. Disabled from an out-of-job experience? Really? Was that like the insurance company finding, or...? Surely somewhere out there. Oh, this is like it's a thing that literally happened to you? Again, very sorry to hear that. That is unfortunate. I wonder if 556 actually deflects now. You cannot tourniquet the pelvis. Very, very correct. Real and true. Okay, so there is a bit of a hold in play. Just need to figure out how much. Ah, very slight hold necessary. Nice, got him. He took an arrow to the knee. Oh, he took a number of arrows and not just to the knee. You did not need sympathy. You did not take an arrow to the knee. Took a parking lot to the skull. Damn. Resulting in serious TBI. Yeah, that will definitely happen. Alright, let's see if there are any survivors. Alright, let's see. I believe that should be all, if not most of them. Welcome to the TBI gang. Eee. See, I never went to diagnose any potential TBIs I may have collected because, first of all, I wasn't hit. Maybe I think I was hit in the head really hard only twice in my entire life. It doesn't seem to have produced any lasting effects, given that I've managed to learn a language to near fluency after both of those. But it's generally not something that you want on a traceable, on your traceable record, if you don't really have to document it. The reason for the velature is heteroptic ossification, bone growth and soft tissue of the joint in your right hip, and a bit of balance issue from the injury. Someone rang your doorbell and you were getting prepped for some fuck shit. Always prepare for fuck shit. You're back to being able to get under your feet. Congratulations. Oh, heterotopic ossification. Listen, I am streamer-brained. Are you expecting a VTuber to be able to read? That's just, those are some oh, a military tablet. You need to check your privilege. I'm sorry. Sorry, I did not have a good joke chambered for that one. But allow the streamer to read poorly. I am juggling both chat and also hopefully not catching a stray 556. Shit. Okay, one of them is still around. Who are you calling, friend? Where are you? I will help you. Just come out. It'll be fine, I promise. Even Ricky wasn't able to read that first try. We offer persistent headaches, insomnia, aphasia, and various other persistent effects. Syllable by syllable. Well, I sadly did not have the diligence to do that. Live in the middle of nowhere town and cartels are somewhat active around, so you always pack. Oh, she was able to read it, I see. Well, good for her. I am fine with accepting that some people... I am fine with recognizing my betters. But on the subject of being prepared for fuck shit, yeah, listen, I live in an area that is generally considered nice. Like, it's one of your nicer suburbs. I still do, if I'm not the one initiating a door being opened, meaning I need to get something from there, if I am responding to someone summoning me to a door, be it a delivery, someone knocking on my door, someone ringing my doorbell, you better bet that there is going to be a gun in hand as I check who's at the door. Alright, as we were. I've been recently looking at that VP9CC that HK has released, and on the one hand, it's $1,000 gun, but on the other, it's an HK concealed carry that it kind of works well with the gun that I wanted to use as my full-sized anyway, so... Is there anything wrong with my carry Glock? No, not really. It's a fine polymer brick that does polymer brick things. So there's not really a reason to have to replace it. But I did want a VP9 for my full-sized gun, and it does kind of make sense to train on a consistent platform.
Roger, Raven is in the air and heading to Mike 3.
Jealous you're scouring for a fucking Bear Creek or Palmetto? I would insist on Palmetto State over Bear Creek, because Bear Creek will not only give you a bad product with a high degree of probability, but they will also not humor any of your attempts to actually contact their customer support. Like, they will actively be shitty to you. Say what you want about Palmetto State Armory. They get it right more often than not. And if something is wrong, they will help you. They do understand the importance of repeat business.
Move it, go!
Whereas Bear Creek Armory is just laundering money at this point. Because here's the thing, like, okay, you bought a $300 shit stick from Bear Creek Armory. What are you going to threaten them with? A costly and annoying return process? Where you will incur more opportunity cost than whatever refund you will get. Your issue is Palmetto doesn't sell any 18 to 20 inch ARs. Not complete builds, but I'm pretty sure they sell uppers that are 20 and 18 inch. Unless you're looking for 223 Wild, in which case you're shit out of luck. Because 223 Wild is not as ubiquitous as a chambering as just 5.56 NATO. I am trying to square a similar circle, actually. Let me get out of the LZ so that the helicopter doesn't squash me. And I will... Oh, many. You've seen some, just not in your budget. So, for PSA specifically, you're just generally going to have to wait for a major retail holiday, and they're going to have some sort of sale. So let me pull up my browser real quick. Hopefully it's not going to melt my GPU. All right, let's see. So Palmetto State Armory, and the other one I recommend as a maybe is I believe Mid-State Firearms is the one I typically look at. All right, let's pull up Chrome. We have this little diversion anyway, and I would prefer for it to be a little bit darker before I start roaming around. Chrome. There we are, Chrome. So, Mid-State Firearms is basically a gunsmithing outfit. But you can find some very interesting things for some pretty cool money. For example, this 24-inch 223 Wild 1-in-8 twist diamond fluted AR upper, which is probably what I am considering. I'll probably stop at 20 inches because like 24 is excessive. There's just not enough powder in the 5.56 cartridge to even make use of all of that barrel space. And it sort of becomes a one-trick pony. At that point, that's just a fucking DMR. It's no longer a do-everything rifle. But basically, you can use any upper, or rather any lower. Like, lowers, you can get those as cheap as $30 if you're really looking for it. But then, like, it's the upper that realistically makes an AR. So let's, for example, say we want M-Lock uppers if we're going to go for the big boy stuff, and we're going to say 223 Wild if we want to be ammo agnostic between 5.56 and 2.23. And then it's just an issue of barrel length. So there we go. 20-inch. And there's a bit of there's a builder in it, so the base price right now is going to be about $500, which, you know what, is not bad for a well-built upper. And let me see. So it's right-handed. Let's go for, since it's free, we can go for the M16 style bolt, standard charging handle. Charging handle is probably something that you want to change out later anyway. Handguard options, let's see. 12-inch, 15-inch. Let's go 15-inch 7-sided M-lock since there's no additional charge for that. Muzzle device options. See, that one's going to be up to you depending on whether or not you plan to suppress it. So we're just going to go with an A2 flash hider. Pin and weld muzzle device, no. Custom dust covering for engraved, no. Foregrips, no. You can find those in your own time. Sights and optics, you're probably buying glass separately for something like that. Light options, you can get lights anywhere else. Folding adapter, no. Silencer use, yes in the future, just to make sure threads are clear from the handguard. Tools and extras, none. There you go. So $530 for a pretty good upper is something that you can get from Mid-State. Let's see. We're going PSA. We probably don't even need to look for PSA brand stuff. We can just go complete uppers, right? AR-15, upper parts. Can I have just complete uppers, please and thank you. 223 Wild, if we want to be specific. 18-inch. Yep, that's probably as low as it's going to get anywhere. So 360. What is this one? 520. And so these are not on sale right now. But I'm willing to bet good money that if you wait until like July 4, if you wait until US 250, realistically 4th of July, 250th anniversary of US independence, then this is probably going to go on sale. And the same goes for Brownells and whatnot, and like all of the other places where you would typically shop for guns. Retail holidays are your primary jam. Do not pay MSRP. Do not buy into it. Just wait for a major holiday. And by major holiday, I mean like every postcard holiday. At least in the case of PSA. Like they run a sale for I don't know, for Easter, for Valentine's Day, for St. Patrick's Day. And the best ones are going to be Christmas and 4th of July. How much are you looking to spend for an upper specifically, if you don't mind me asking? Alrighty ho, let's just want to make sure no one takes pot shots at me, because we are moving towards a place where there are patrols. There are patrols and checkpoints. And they're typically staffed with some pretty jittery gentlemen who will take pot shots at me. If given the opportunity. Oh, that's a roaming patrol. Oh, I whiffed that. Oh, I whiffed that. That's entirely on me. Can you just go down, please? You do too much. The whole rifle range is 600 to 700. You only work part-time, take college classes currently. Ooh. What are you thinking for sights in that case? Because a lower you can get for, like, you can build a lower. If you buy a stripped lower for like 30-ish bucks, you should be fine. Let me skip that ad real quick. Irons on a 20-inch rifle? Okay, listen, you can always upgrade later. That's fine. Irons are fine. Irons are fine. Let me think. So, you can find stripped lowers for as low as $30. Very frequently. A lower parts build case with milsim parts on PSA. So getting the gun first. Okay, so you can buy a pretty decent lower parts kit from PSA, and those used to run something like $80. So in total, like, your lower is going to take up, your complete built-out lower is going to be something in the area of just over $100. So you have at least another $500 to $600 to spend on the upper. And I didn't check if the PSA one that we just looked at had a bolt carrier group and a charging handle. But I say look out for the 4th of July sale, and you might actually build a rifle that works within that budget. You put some Magpul plastic backup sights, and you should be fine. Trust in the Embussy. God, that's horrible. I'm very sorry. And there you go. You're gonna have a gun. Whoa, 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 whoa! You fucking stop that! You stop that right now! Right in the noggin. He has aggressed against me. He violated my NAP. I was fully justified in that use of force, officer. See another one of them. Someone getting shot in the dick. He's pretty insistent on staying vertical. God damn. This is why I don't like this area during the day. So are you building it as your first AR, or do you very specifically just want a full-sized 20-incher, you know, like the way Eugene Stoner intended, in addition to another platform that you run? I hope you don't mind me prying. I just want larger context for what you're trying to shop for. Yeah, but if we're not buying glass, that's very much within feasible gun building budgets. And that's going to be a solid gun. First AR, that's why it's 20 or 18 inch. Okay, I'm not going to try to convince you to do anything different. You have a reason for why you want that range. May I suggest 16 inch? Just as a possibility. Because 16-inch rifles are better do-everything rifles, and with modern powder loads, you're not really losing anything in terms of your muzzle velocity, at least not to a point of materiality where you're just ruining the gun and it's like performs significantly worse. Because 20 or 18 inch, that's DMR territory. That's when you need to reach out and touch hearts and minds at like 1,000 yards. I'm gonna say up to 1,000 rather than at 1,000. You know what I mean. I have entirely too much recoil on this gun. Like, I can't even see my impact. Did look at 16. Once you get any kind of scope, it's mostly going to be used for hogs and yotes. Ah, yeah, that's definitely not something that you want to challenge from other ranges. So if it's going to be primarily used as a hunting rifle, then yeah, there you go. That's probably your... In that case, you probably want to prioritize the 20-inch build. Just because you have that situation of needing to deliver enough vital damage for whatever you're hunting to drop. Can you hunt hogs with 5.56? I would think that it's a little bit of an anemic round for for something with that density. I've heard people say that 5.56 is barely enough to hunt deer. So maybe that sounds like an AR-10 problem rather than an AR-15. And again, you know better than I do since I don't hunt. War goes down, you're not going to exist. You live near a nuke magnet, but also the middle of bumfuck nowhere, so even if you need to fight, it's all fields. Okay, so your effective ranges are going to be that. That's understandable. I would consider home defense to be a more likely scenario than, you know, all-out war. Especially given how unlikely a land invasion of the US even is a scenario. The restriction is on smaller calibers to prevent unnecessary suffering of the animal because it's hard to guarantee a quick kill. So, well, given that coyotes are not your sort of tagged hunting, it's not a hunting tag, it's more of a pest control kind of thing, rather predator control thing, and hogs are pest control, I assume they don't have the same limitations. I mean, I say that, you're probably not even like, you could just start with a 20-inch rifle, that's perfectly fine, and then at a later point, you can just get a shorter barrel. You can get like a 14-inch with a pin and weld, and just have the longer barrel staged for when you go hunting, and keep it in the shorter barrel configuration as your home defense. Coyotes are the main issue where you live. Hogs around are some, but it's mostly coyotes. Okay. Yeah, then I've heard some people recommend 224 Fury, but I'm not sure. It looks like a boutique round that almost needs to be hand-loaded, so probably not the most universally viable solution. I do like the appeal of just having, you know, a long-reach rifle in a common caliber. That I get that appeal. That is the exact rifle that I'm trying to build right now. I have a lower that is sitting there waiting for an upper. I currently have to contend with other things that get in front of building that rifle. Because even if I were to build that rifle, I really don't have a range long enough to shoot it at. At least not on a regular basis. And the glass would run me like at least another $1,000 anyway. Ooh. Usually more of them loitering around. So let's not present any angles unless we have to. That's part of it. So are you going for 223 wild chambering for the same reason? You use your Glock for most defense, mostly at moments, plus you don't live alone. The person you live with has a couple shotguns. If someone breaks in at night, he will sleep through the gunfight. That's nice to know. That's nice to know. Shotguns are scary. They're especially scary in the hands of shotgun specialists. I don't trust myself to run a shotgun for home defense. Also, by the way, ads are going to start real soon. Again, if you need to divert from ads without subscribing, that's what the YouTube is for. If you put in !socials, all one word, it's gonna send you to it's gonna give you a YouTube to watch while ads are running. It's not a joke either. You sleep like a tungsten cube. Respectable. Laughs an ad blocker. Good for you. Good for you. It means I don't need to step around continuing the conversation. But as I was saying, I have a Benelli M4, but it's mostly a safe queen. Well, mostly it's a ranged toy rather than a safe queen, because I do take it out to shoot. But I don't trust myself to use it as a home defense rifle, just because I am not confident in me being able to operate the manual of arms under stress. Like, it is... feeding a shotgun is an entirely different skill, which I currently do not possess. Eh, kind of fucking ugly, but sure. Getting a lot of these flight control modules. Eat your fucking lychee. So yeah, I currently still rely on my MCX as my primary home defense rifle. It does have the added benefit of being suppressed, so... while being very capable of filling a door-frame-sized space with hate very quickly, it's easier to reload, especially since I have coupled mags. It comes with the added benefit of not accruing permanent hearing loss. Because home defense buckshot is an angry round. And I don't have a lot of furniture, so that echo is gonna bounce right back at me. There's not a lot of surface area to deflect those traumatic sound waves. Okay, what are we even doing here? Tasks, oh, never mind, we need to keep going. We don't need to do anything here. I'm gonna throw this fucking thing out. I don't need this. It's $1,000 at best. Got anything good? A free grenade. I already have 2 canisters, fuck it. I don't even have a quest for the canisters. Why am I not, running Benadryl shells? The hell is a Benadryl shells? That is the first time I've ever heard that. Shotgun shells loaded with Benadryl? Well, for one, I don't have a Benadryl prescription to have access to bennies to self-load my shotgun shells. Second of all, it kind of carries the conundrum of any less lethal round. If you're pointing a gun at anyone, it's going to be treated... the law is going to treat it as intent to use lethal force, regardless of whether or not you're running double-aught buck or beanbags. So you accept full liability for pointing a gun at a person in any context, but you also then deprive yourself of the actual effectiveness of the round. Whoa, okay, I see. I'm gonna go and collect some hardcover real quick. These boys are kind of aggressive. Let's see if we can't spur them on for some better life choices. You're going to call a desk and call them slurs? The fuck you mean the product you're specifically taking classes on is not included in the student subscription? I'm not sure what the context of that is. I'll engage with you in a moment. Fuck you, Will. It's a good thing that they don't have the tactical acumen to push. Otherwise, I would be in some squirrely circumstances. They mostly just scatter and run around. I try shooting through foliage with those rounds. It's like rock salt but Benadryl. The idea is that they go into the spider dimension from Benadryl overdose. While funny as a meme, and again, I am not your lawyer and this is not legal advice. I'm gonna tickle his ribs around that door. CAD software, you need a special program for your final project. For some reason, they won't let them use the program. Oh, that's kind of shit. Yeah, if you expect people to submit their assignments, then you are kind of expected to provide the tools to do so. Is there no shareware version that's capable of processing CAD files? Someone's been shooting at me from over there. I cannot sprint. I am overloaded. Yeah, it is funny. Again, it's all funny memes, but it is the same reason why, for example, I'm a strong opponent of using rubber buckshot. How are you still standing? Oh, he's no longer standing. No one that does things you need, special program handling, piping and such. That is unfortunate. I have been spared. Does the game have tumbling when shooting into foliage? Not yet. I guess your only solution would be to borrow someone else's account. Because like most software, I assume these days it's all cloud-based. At least I don't think the rounds tumble yet. They did introduce new ballistic behaviors in the body, so it actually matters now if you're using M855 versus someone who's not armored. The ballistics go autistic when it hits the body? Apparently it does, yeah. Because M855, when it's not interacting with armor, is going to produce very small wound channels, and that seems to be the reason for the perceived sponginess of enemies in this current patch. I think I got all of them. I'm not gonna check because I have nothing that I want down there. I just want people to not shoot at me. That's my primary ask for right now. But again, I am not your lawyer. This is not legal advice. But in my analysis, less than lethal does you no favors from a legal perspective. As in, regardless of what rounds you have loaded, you are pointing a gun at a living person. That means that you are either threatening or using lethal force. Which means you're assuming full liability for use of deadly force, while also depriving yourself of the inherent effectiveness of lethal force. So I would say beanbags are the exclusive purview of police, who have qualified immunity to use those. And by using rubber buckshot, you are most likely just giving the crackhead who broke into your apartment an opportunity to crack off a shot from his high point that he stole, maiming or killing you before he still bleeds out, because you still made a number of very much gaping and bleeding holes with said rubber buckshot. The math just does not work. Not sure where I'm supposed to be going. Your odds in front of a judge or jury go up over 20% if the other guy can't show up to complain about getting shot hurting. You might as well commit to finishing the job. Not only that, if the other guy survives, he also has an opportunity to go after you with a civil suit for causing pain and suffering. And the fact that he broke into your apartment with the capacity and possibly the resolve to kill you is not going to be factored in the kangaroo court that is a civil proceeding. And pain and suffering suits are not capped. You can be potentially stuck paying welfare to some, how should I put this, some leech on society because he had unfortunately survived attempting to rob and kill you. There are very likely more of them. I would like to acquire some hardcover. Funnily enough, the same applies to car accidents. If for some reason you do not have your gun in hand, they are getting introduced to a fucking big-ass wooden mallet. Oof. See, I'm not sure which is worse. Because being beaten to death, contrary to popular belief, is actually not very cash money, not a very pleasant way to go. It actually happens at a higher incident than firearm-related deaths. Every year, more people are beaten to death than shot. Possibly because people who are likely to beat someone to death don't have access to a firearm for a reason. There is no way there's just one of them. There is just absolutely no way in hell there was just one of them. I'm gonna see if I can get a better angle. Less lethal handguns are like a very funny thing to me. Like, it's just such a fucking nonsensical invention. And any place that limits you to less lethal handguns usually has self-defense laws on the books that are so backwards that you can't even really use that thing effectively anyway, as effective as that thing can even be. You have many big and heavy sticks, and a great many blades. If shit goes down, you have options. There's that gif where it's like a very portly, bearded man. And I don't believe that one has sound, but it has subtitles that goes something to the effect of, I hear someone breaking in. And he starts rummaging through his safe full of guns, knives, and everything else. What do I kill you with? The correct answer is the gun that you train with the most, realistically. Like, whenever you want to incorporate a tool into surviving a stressful environment, you better make sure that you've put in enough hours to make that tool an organic extension of your body. That manual of arms should be as second nature to you as breathing and blinking. A good old bow staff would work quite well. Depends on the environment. Being a big fan of bow staffs, that being the first melee weapon I trained with at length, giggity, it has its very obvious limitations, especially in a... I just hear someone shuffle. I'm gonna crank my audio up. I'm gonna circle around real quick just to make sure. You're mostly trained with bows, nunchucks, and kamas. Only recently had to acquire your first handgun. I was in a very similar place, and I think that it is good and healthy that you understand that while practicing with kogosoku, which is the art of handling traditional melee weapons, is a valuable pursuit, and it does teach you a lot of important things and a lot of transferable skills. At the end of the day, the best answer is always gun. Still do train them with hack. What's your what's the tradition that you train in? Is it kobudo, or is it just general karate curriculum? And if karate curriculum, then what style? Actually, no, I'm still good for drinks, but I'll still drink the soda. So the choice of weaponry suggests some Okinawan style, so either Goju-ryu or Wado-ryu or one of those. Since a boat oar was not mentioned, I'm gonna guess it's not just mainline kobudo. Is this not the thing that I am supposed to check? Oh, I probably didn't accept the quest. Silly me. Thank you. We love Gunny Quest. Let's go over to Bronco. Okinawan Karate. Ah, Matsumura Seto. Okay. So you are roughly somewhere in the familial tree of, if it's Matsumura, then you're somewhere in the lineage of Shorinji Kempo. I see. My basis was in Kyokushin, and Kyokushin Shotokan mix, to be more specific, because my teacher was like old style Shotokan first, and then he made the switch over to Kyokushin. There's another big guy from your dojo, you remember? Do tell. I'm not big on like exact personalities, especially in the Okinawan cliques. I just vaguely know the styles that are supposed to be related to my school. But yeah, I started off in Kyokushin. I still engage in Kyokushin to a large extent. I then expanded my repertoire with some of the practices from Shorinji-ryu. Mostly filling the gaps that Kyokushin has in terms of clinch fighting. I was very lucky to find an instructor. Main guy at your dojo was Hohan Soken. Okay, then you are definitely in the Shorinji-ryu lineage. Because our lineage is derived from Matsumura Sokon. I can't wait for the weather to clear up a little bit so that I can do my kata work outside again. The weather is not bad, but it's raining heavily on occasion, and because of that, the little grassy field I use for my kata work, it gets a little mushy. I don't like that. Ooh, MP7A2, nice. Gibbs. What am I getting and why? Cry Precision G3s, no. The Tiger camo stays on. UAV control station. I don't believe I need these for any quests, right? No AK stock. Horosan mount. STS mount. What the hell is that? EOTech. Oh, it's a magnifier mount. I see. Okay. Well, I don't have another magnifier yet, so I'll keep that keep that one here. Ooh. With a P2 acro, no less. Okay, okay. I see how it is. We're gonna hold on to that one. I'm gonna just sell the one that I got in my supporter pack. If I didn't already. No, I didn't. Sorry, I'm still on the coffee side of things. Coffee is an I cough, not the drink. All right, let's see. What do we have here? 20-round magazine loaded up with what? It's probably AP. If I had, nope, FMJ. Okay, we can just sell this. I can and will just sell this to Gunny. How is my reputation still not level 3? I do so much for you, and this is how you treat me. Unbelievable. Drop that down here. Current teacher was an ex-SWAT guy that teaches a lot of practical implementation of it. You love to see it. Oh boy, I need to I need to explain this without revealing identifiable information. My instructor comes from a background where he had a confirmed kill count in the double digits. In the high double digits. So yeah, very, very hands-on for evacuating people from this mortal coil. He was incidentally also my jiu-jitsu instructor, so there was a lot of very good practical overlap, which is the best way to learn any contact style realistically. I dearly miss having regular access to a hard impact dojo. These are sadly very few and far between. What are we doing on time? Oh, okay. We're not doing that great on time actually. Let's see. I have like maybe 20-ish minutes to do another quest, and then I need to pack up for the day. Where the fuck even are we? It's gonna be faster to probably just nope out and reload if I want to complete a quest. Taking pot shots at Fort Nerith isn't something that I'm terribly interested in. Running all the way to Echo 2 is a shit ton of time. Oh my. Welcome to Onii-san. Welcome to the Oni Dojo, Cowled One. You're welcome to stay, but I discourage you from attempting to leave. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Oh, by the way, there is a Discord that even has a dedicated cross-training channel. It's called Church of Iron. We call it Church of Iron, but it's actually about all physical training, so feel free to hop in, join the conversation. The people there are generally fun, although they train less than I would like. So if we can get another angry pajama person into the server, that would brighten my day. What is that song from? It sounds so familiar. It's Bakamitai from well, of Yakuza fame primarily. Alright, let me safely end deployment, and then I will save scum my way into hopping on a quick quest for Gunny, and maybe then he will love me. Unlikely. But I shall try. It got memed to death right around Kiwami, Yakuza Kiwami got its English language release. Which, it's a catchy song. Need to work on cardio mainly at the moment. Big same. I have been so fucking lazy with my cardio, it's not even funny. For one, it's cold. It has been cold for a while, and then when it was no longer cold, it was fucking wet. Both I really don't like dealing with for my running. Now that we're nearing summer and we're getting back into those like proper 80s and 90s, I'm gonna hopefully start running again once I'm done coughing my lungs out. That is the plan. Kata work has actually been the best way of me getting cardio in. It's just a little, how should I put this? It takes quite a bit of time to do. Investigate potential weapons cache on the road north of Sawmill. Fuck it, we ball.
Roger, Raven is in the air and heading to base camp.
You live in Sunland and you cannot deal with the sun. You're whiter than your wallpaper. Well, see, I am bright red. And I'm very well built for heat, but I cannot abide by direct sunlight. I will die if I am in direct sunlight. So I need to either lather myself with zinc sunscreen.
Raven, wheels down and ready to load.
Hey, bro, that's a mine, but sure, okay.
Get ready, we're moving out.
Bros just decided to hitch a ride on my Uber, I guess. You have like 20 plus kata you need to do. Yeah, that sounds about right. So my shorinji kata aren't that numerous. I'm limited to Seisan and Wanshu. Well, Seisan, Wanshu, Sanshin, Tensho are like my core curriculum that I'm supposed to work on. I do have the full curriculum of Kyokushin kata, which are more physically strenuous than the Shorinji-ryu ones. And then I sort of tickle the tip of the Shotokan curriculum with the ones that I was taught, that being Teki Shodan, Niju Shiho. I have not done Gankaku in a very long while. Trying to think of any other Shotokan kata I practice with any regularity. Oh, Sochin. Sochin is a favorite of mine. But yeah, as far as Shotokan curriculum, that's probably it. The rest is just core Kyokushin. It has a lot of overlap with Goju-ryu and with other Okinawan styles, so it's gonna be your Gekisai Dai, Gekisai Sho, what is Saiha, Seisan, and Wanshu. Learned any the Pinans yet? So, I've learned the Pinan katas in the Kyokushin tradition, which I understand are slightly different from the Okinawan.
30 seconds.
From the Okinawan method. I've learned Heian Shodan and Heian Nidan from like the specifically Okinawan ones. Heian Shodan being like the most materially different. The other ones are largely the same as the Kyokushin version. Like there wasn't a lot of body English introduced by Oyama when he was adapting the higher ones. Those you have not heard of? Which ones? So Heian is just the alternative naming of the Pinan katas. Heian is just the mainland quote-unquote pronunciation of those. So what we would normally refer to as Pinan Sonuichi would be Heian Shodan in the sort of mainland or Hyojungo pronunciation. The order is also different for some reason. So what for example Kyokushin calls Pinan Sonuni is referred to as Heian Shodan in Shorinji-ryu. And I kind of agree with the Kyokushin nomenclature, because if Taikyoku is supposed to feed into the Heian kata, it makes sense that the first Heian kata is going to just in its structure going to be closer to the Taikyoku kata. it kind of just makes sense, you know? I am, yapping without looking around enough. I used to do this thing where I would catch, whenever the yoga space in my local gym was free, and I would set up shop there for like a good 2 to 3 hours, just running nothing but Kihon and Kata from the Kyokushin curriculum. It's a blast and a half. That is the most surefire way of just eradicating 2,000 calories from your system. I was mostly prevented from doing that on a consistent basis by having an eroding vertebrae, which I hope now has been mostly reconciled. I've not felt a lot of limitations because it was causing shooting pains down my hip. Hopefully that has been restored. Because I did a course of BPC 157, which has hopefully... Second, what am I looking at here? Why is my phone going off? Nothing urgent. The Nishidi kata are the most interesting ones so far. You don't know if that's how it's written. That's the first time I've heard of that, so I can't really don't really have an opinion on that one. Just in case I eat shit, I'm gonna go ahead and touch Crusader. Something tells me I should save scum. Especially while I have my unobtainium 25 power scope. The most sophisticated kata I've learned is Super-Rinpei, and I'm not entirely certain that I've learned it correctly, because it was largely self-taught. That was the only kata that I sort of picked up off internet videos, primarily going off of Morio Higaona's execution of it, and I understand that there's some variance and contention. But I've yet to find anyone who can instruct me in Super-Rinpei. Because the Goju-Ryu guy who I had access to wouldn't let me skip the line and just explain Super-Rinpei to me. He wanted me to, you know, buy the timeshare, drink the Kool-Aid. Also called the young man kata, as they are mainly higher kicks. Ah, interesting. It's news to me that Okinawan styles made a lot of use of high kicks. Always, I was under the impression that those were mostly an innovation by Funakoshi Gigo.
We've established control over Crusader.
Which was way after the separation of the Nahate styles from the Okinawan tradition. Oh, highest kicks you do are maybe stomach level? I see. Okay, so it's still like around Chudan. I guess you could roughly say that maybe Sokuto Yokogiri are still considered high kicks, because those go as high as as your flexibility allows you to. Up, I see a pair of legs. I see 2 pairs of legs. Oh, that's a lot. Oh, that's a lot. Seek hard cover. Peek out behind this. I was not expecting that. Whoa. Wonder if I can reach them with a nade. It's higher than most other kata I see. Where have I seen relatively high kicks? Wanshu has a couple of Yokogiri, but those are, again, as high as you can take them. They're fucking aggressive too. I mean, I did shoot at them, so that's kind of fair. I wonder if I can get some kind of vantage point on them. Oh, that's a bad vantage point. No, we don't play with that. We don't fuck that way. Who would have thought that sticking your head over your hard cover is a bad idea? I appreciate that they are circling and moving and trying to get an angle on me. That is kind of cool, but also currently very annoying. I have to get like the most narrow angle I can get on them. I do not have good visibility. Wait, I can probably snipe them off the building. I can probably take shots off the building because I would be out of range for them. Let's make sure I get some hard cover still. Not seeing any movement. Okay, there's the road. I wonder where they would have gone. At least two of them should have bled out by now. Careful not to trip and fall. That crow's nest is a little too exposed right now, but let's give it a shot. Actually has a pretty decent view of the road. They mounted tactical retreat. Yeah, I don't see them anymore. Interesting. Oh, this would have been a pretty cool vantage point. I say as I catch a fucking round, like, directly with my face. Alright, the visibility is such that I'm not able to confirm where they are. I guess we're gonna have to go and look. How are we doing for ammo? I mean, I say how are we doing for ammo, I have access to my entire stash here, so... But yeah, one of the things that I look forward to the most in the summer season is being able to work out outside. So it's gonna be cardio season, baby. All I have to do is not burn myself out so that I have something left in the tank to do my judo. Right, they seem to have just mostly fucked off. Which, again, is understandable, because someone from a reinforced cop is shooting at them. Like, their only option is to leave. Let's hope they double down on that choice. What the hell am I even looking for, then? Investigate potential weapon cache on the road north of Sawmill. So we're looking... What the hell are we even looking for? Potential weapon stash somewhere in this sector. And suppose those men were guarding the weapon stash. We're in that, squirrely visibility. Oh, that's it? Okay, thank you. Alright, let's dip right back in. Complete the task. Oh, I only got 90 rep for that, really? I think Gunny doesn't appreciate us. Not as much as he should. Probably the highest kicking that I can think of in an Okinawan-based kata is probably going to be... Oh, bye. Seiyunchin? Because there's a jump kick in there. That's probably about it. All right. So this has been funny. There's going to be a stream tomorrow evening, as per our usual schedule. So again, I remind you to join the socials. If you feel so inclined, there's also an Oni Dojo patch. So feel free to acquire one. When you do, make sure to let me know, because that comes with a special server role. We're going to look for someone to raid while we look at the sensitive young man that is Gunny. Who is online today? Oh, Jamez is actually starting soon, and Drifter Fox is... Well, he's starting in a minute, or at least Twitch informs me of such. Oh, he's already started. Okay, we can just raid directly into Jamez. Fantastico. Chat, you need to convince Jamez into playing Gray Zone instead of the Kojima cringe that he promised to play today. So it is incumbent upon you to browbeat Mr. Jamez into playing a game you want. Okay? That's important. It's very important. Alright, we're gonna start a raid. There we go. Right. So as mentioned previously, I despise Kojima. It's not that I despise Kojima. I think that he's a better engineer than he is a writer. And his opinions are like very, very surface level, and he refuses to educate himself to have better ones. This has been Onii-san reminding you to pick up heavy things and put them back down. Stream tomorrow evening, don't miss it. Follow the channel, follow the socials, whatever the hell else you need to do. Bye-bye.
I need to plan, my birthday's coming up, so I need to plan that. Wow! Kuromaru, thank you for the raid. Welcome. Welcome. I'm just getting started. Hi, I'm James, the Gunsmith VTuber. We're just getting started with tonight's stream. I saw you on Gray Zone earlier. I hope you were having a good time on Gray Zone. Welcome in. Come. I'm glad you're here. Come hang out. We're just chilling tonight. Gonna have a nice time. I have to, like as I was saying, my birthday is coming up very soon, end of the month. So I have to plan what I'm going to do for that. So I'm going to kind of figure some of that stuff out. Get some of y'all's thoughts on that. And then we're also going to look at some recent UFO stuff, because apparently aliens are real now. Like, we're just accepting that they're real now, I guess. Which kind of makes me not want to accept that they're real if the government's trying to tell me that they are. But yes, it was perfect timing. But yes, everybody just settle in and get cozy. And Twitch viewers, especially, don't forget, Twitch doesn't count your view if you're a lurker, but you don't have to chat if you don't like to chat. I have cheap redeems for that. But yeah, so anyway, my birthday. Last year I officially turned into whatever the male version of a hag is, and now we're adding a +1 to that, so that's gonna be something. So we're gonna see how that goes. But I'm planning on doing emotes do count. Yes, I'm planning on doing a marathon stream. The last weekend of the month, so like the 30th on the Thursday and the 1st, which is a Friday. That's the plan. And I believe the term is chopped unk. Onii-san, if you're weep enough. Male hag is fine. That doesn't sound quite as bad as chopped unk. So, you know. But so birthday's coming up, and I'm probably, I'm gonna do like I've done before, just have a marathon stream. I just goof off, do whatever I feel like. I was thinking I want to try. I want to try to have some people come hang out if they want to for my birthday. And I can't really decide on how I want that to go, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I'll go with old fuck. How's that sound? I don't know. That might be a little much. It's listen. Age of 30's in demand and all that shit. So, so I don't know how I want to handle. Like, I want to invite some people to just come hang out on my birthday, right? I don't know if I just want to have a set time or just have people pop in and out as they please. I'm really bad at planning things. I haven't had like a birthday party for a long time in real life, because whenever it's my birthday in real life, I just want to go hang out with my family for a weekend. So more like in demand by the army recruiter. So, okay, see, I have a problem with that. The reason I never actually did any service, and this is not like one of those stupid excuses, right? I legitimately have an excuse because I did want to join when I was a teenager. But unfortunately I have injured myself in my back and my leg, and I have like a lot of metal inside my body, so they wouldn't take me. So I'm not going to be getting drafted with everything that's going on. So good luck to everybody else, but I don't have to worry about that. Then we have the weekend grilling and going out shooting. I love grilling and going out shooting, so that sounds like it would be a really good weekend, actually. So that would be fantastic. I love that kind of thing. So I'm probably gonna message some people like that I would like to come